welcome back to Nutrition Academy. Today we are your teachers and instructors. My name is Christina Jordan and I'm a master nutritionist at Fit Body Weight Loss.
And my name is Mindy and I am a nutritionist with Fit Body Weight Loss as well.
And today what we're going to show you is how to menu plan, how to make and pair meals for an entire day. On this table, there is enough food to feed you plus some for an entire day. And we're gonna show you how we as nutritionists not only eat ourselves, but how we help our clients eat and how they can easily build an eating plan.
Absolutely.
And I think you'll agree with me. The one thing that we can all see here is this is definitely not starving.
No. In fact, most of our clients say that they eat more on our plan than they have in their entire lives.
Right,
They're
exactly.
Just constantly eating.
Exactly. And for those of you who are watching today, if you don't already know my story or my background, I personally lost half my size. I lost over 130 pounds. And I will tell you that whenever I was large, at my heaviest, I was over 270 pounds. And at that time, I hardly ate.
Right.
I hardly ate at all. In fact, I would starve myself all day long just drinking tons of sugary sodas and sugary Starbucks drinks. And then at the end of the day, I would eat one meal and it was a horrible bingey meal.
Right.
And then I just carb loaded and I thought I could because I wasn't eating. I was starving.
Right. Like you were saving it up for that one big meal.
Exactly. And we're here today to show you that you don't have to starve to, number one, lose weight. But most importantly is you don't starve yourself healthy. You can't. It's impossible.
Right. Absolutely.
You have to eat.
In fact, one of the biggest factors in gaining weight and retaining weight, even when you're trying to lose weight, is starvation.
Yes.
We have proven over and over again, the more you eat, the more you lose,
Exactly.
as long as you're eating the right kinds of food.
Exactly. It's not about counting calories.
Nope.
And you know it as much as I do. Our patients freak out when we tell them you don't have to count calories.
No, you don't.
They're like, you don't?
No.
Back a decade ago, 2 decades ago, it was big. You got no fat. No, then it became count those calories, count those macros. And today we're here to show you that you don't have to do that, that you can be set free from all that calorie counting, all the macro counting, and you just really, if you want to count something, count your meals.
Right.
Right?
And make sure you're getting enough of them, not less of them.
Yes, Mindy, would you agree that like the number one reason when people come into our clinic that they stop losing weight, I would say number one is stress, but number two is not eating enough.
Every single time. If a client stalls out with their weight loss program, the first thing I look at actually isn't what they're eating, it's how often they're eating.
Are you starving yourself?
Yeah.
Are you skipping too much? So today we're going to show you how to do it. And guess what? You can still keep your coffee. You can still have ways to sweeten your drinks and your lifestyle, and it's gonna be fun. So
well, and look at all this variety.
Look at this.
And this is just a very, very small sampling of the foods that are allowed in a healthy lifestyle.
Yes, this is just what I happen to have in my fridge right now. And I just pulled it out and I'm gonna share with you, this is what we eat in a day. And obviously not like all of it, but parts of it. So we're gonna start with breakfast. And before we even begin, we're going to give you the breakdown of what you're eating. You're going to be having breakfast,
right?
A snack, lunch, a snack, dinner, and then an optional snack. It's not, you don't have to do it, but you can do it in the evening. So let's go ahead and I'll let you start with breakfast.
Okay, so ideally with breakfast, you really want to start off with a high protein breakfast and add in some good healthy complex carbohydrates to fuel you through your day.
Right.
So Christina and I will typically start off our breakfast with a couple of eggs.
Yep.
I like to make mine into an omelet and I will add some onions, I'll add some peppers, I'll add maybe some diced tomato, mushrooms, whatever I feel like, because vegetables aren't an issue, so I can just add my choice of veggies.
Even some spinach. I don't have any spinach out, but literally I always add a lot of like green onion to my eggs in the morning. Green onion is actually a natural antibacterial. So a lot of these foods, not only are you having a great dish, but you're having a lot of vitamins and nutrients and minerals that are going to boost your immune system and give you energy throughout the day.
Absolutely.
So what we always say is you have your good protein, your healthy, you know, like here's an example of a complex carb, here's a complex carb, here's a complex carb, a fruit or a vegetable,
Yeah.
complex carb.
So I might have some berries with my
Berries.
eggs. So I'd have a small handful of berries, like
Yep.
a few.
And that is a serving.
blueberries.
Can you see
Whoops.
that? Whoops, that's okay. That's here, a few
A
more.
little bit more.
That is a serving. It's a handful. Everything
handful
is
of
done by the
berries.
hands.
Yes.
So for example, you know, you wouldn't want to eat 6 eggs. That's not
Right.
a serving.
But I might have like
That's a
a little
handful.
handful of
Yes.
berries.
Your carbohydrate for fruits is about 1 handful. Also, what you want to make sure you have in this combination, like we said, you got to have your protein, which is like your eggs, have your protein, have your good complex carbohydrate, but you also need a third item, which is your healthy fat. So you could throw, you know, the healthy fat could be in the form of an avocado.
Right.
You could cook it in the avocado oil,
the olive oil.
or coconut
Coconut
oil.
oil.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
There's so many options, but you have to have them together.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the benefits of healthy fats? Because people were afraid of fats forever.
Right, but there is a really big difference between healthy fats and unhealthy fats.
Right.
And I think that overall fat got a really bad name over the
Right.
last 15 years or so.
Right.
Because we introduced so many man-made.
It's like
fake
saying
fats.
these dark wild cherries are the same as a cherry fruit filling in a
Right.
pie that's down at the gas station. There's no comparison.
Right.
There's no comparison in the fats. So these are healthy fats that we're giving you today. So can you want to show them what healthy fats?
Yes.
Just break it down so you know. We want you to understand this. Fats are okay.
So we have coconut oil, which is amazing. I cook with this. I use it on my skin.
I put it in my hair.
Everything. Coconut
Yes,
oil is amazing.
coconut oil is awesome, and it's actually very anti-inflammatory.
It is.
It's really good for you.
And then of course we have olive oil, which
Yes.
you know is a tried and true favorite for people who cook, and it's
And
also
you always want to go organic with these.
absolutely.
Really, you want to go organic with everything as much as possible. And then we have the avocado oil as well.
Yes, and this is probably one of my favorite oils, just because when you're cooking in a pan, this has a really high smoking temp, so it's great for sautéing
Yes.
your veggies, sautéing
Yes.
your eggs,
Yes.
etc. But all the
And
healthy
it tastes really good too.
It does. And all the healthy oils are great because they're healthy because they contain the omega fatty acids and things that are actually really good for your brain, really good for
Yep.
your immune system, really good for your body.
Absolutely. And then the protein that's in your eggs, you guys, the protein has the amino acids, which are your building blocks of muscle and of skin elasticity, collagen. This helps rebuild your cells. So you cannot skip the protein.
Right.
And then your good carbs, they're what's going to wake you up and fire you up and keep your blood sugar level.
And one more thing about eggs, super quick, so I just want to hit on this. A lot of our clients ask us, can I eat the yolk?
Yes.
So, Christina,
Yes.
can I eat the yolk?
Yes, you can eat the yolk. Unless you have a condition where you're allergic to the eggs, or you just particularly your doctor has warned you against them, we would never go against your doctor. But typically an average person like Mindy and I, like you, yes, you can eat the yolk. In fact, it's in the yolk is where the lecithin and theanine are, which are natural fat burners. And eggs were just given a really bad rap back in the 70s.
Right.
Where they were accredited for a lot of cholesterol issues, but that's false. Cholesterol is actually from sugar.
Right.
People don't realize that. Good fats, like what we're talking about right now, and eggs, by the way, they actually help flush bad cholesterol.
They do.
So you want to have this in your diet. Now, Mindy, what do we do if they don't like eggs or they're allergic to eggs?
Well, then you can find other protein sources for your breakfast.
Yep.
And that can be in a lot of different forms. I personally, because I have autoimmune, I love to have bone broth in the morning.
Yes.
That's my favorite. It gives
Yes.
me a great source of a little bit of fat, high protein, great amino acids, collagen, etc.
Yep.
But you
so good for your skin, you guys. And it's very anti-inflammatory. So if you find that you're swelling a lot, even in your extremities, like your fingers, your feet, your legs, or if you're finding that your face is looking really puffy, maybe your eyes, your nose, any of that, this helps.
Really
Mindy
great.
knows, because Mindy, you want to share your background with autoimmune disease?
Yeah, so after the birth of my first child, when I was in my early 20s, I was actually diagnosed with Hashimoto's, which is hypothyroidism. And I stayed sick for years because the doctors didn't tell me you can build up your immune system, you can fix your immune system through nutrition. They just put
And they
me on
don't
medicine.
tell you that there's foods that trigger those flare-ups.
They didn't at all.
And we're here to tell you today, if you're dealing with anything like that, anything from, maybe you don't know if you're diagnosed yet, but maybe you have the symptoms. You want to list the symptoms?
So chronic fatigue, brain fog, dry skin, if your hair is falling out.
Your eyebrows falling out.
Yeah.
Your
that's a
eyelashes
big
falling
one.
out.
Right. Weight gain, inflammation. Inflammation is probably one of the biggest signs of autoimmune.
Pain.
Yeah, just
Pain.
random pain because your
pain.
nerve centers will flare up and
Yes.
you'll have
Low
achy
immune
joints.
system.
Yep,
That-
exactly.
I'm actually celiac, which is another version of autoimmune disorder. And for me, anytime I eat foods that have gluten, lactose, or sugar in it, I get basically the flu.
Me too.
Immediately, my throat hurts, my head hurts, I can't think straight, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and it's like I got the flu.
Right.
And I can tell you one time, it was Mother's Day about 5-6 years ago. I went and did the traditional pancakes. I just ditched the whole thing and I went all in that day. I was sick for 2 weeks,
Were you?
getting back on track, getting back to normal. And my stomach was swollen. It looked like I was pregnant.
Yeah, I can always tell because my eyes get super puffy, my ankles swell,
Yep.
and I get a headache, and I just feel really out of it. I don't
Absolutely.
feel good.
Absolutely. This
So-
combination of foods, everything we're giving you today and showing you what you can eat is autoimmune friendly. We
Yes.
definitely have 90% of our patients that come into our office have some sort of autoimmune issues. They didn't even know they had some of them.
Right.
I personally, if you don't know my background, I overcame and totally 100% reversed type 2 diabetes. And I did it by eating this way and this much food,
Yep.
literally. When I starved myself and did nothing but have sugar, I was addicted to sugar, literally. That's how I got diabetes. But I went back and I went back to real food.
Right.
And now I was able to 100% reverse it. And Mendy and I both can say that she is totally free of her medication
Yes.
for thyroidism. I'm totally free of medication for diabetes. And we are both we're a picture of perfect health right now.
Yeah, I feel better than I have my
Yes.
entire life. And honestly, if you do have diabetes,
Yes.
this is how you should be eating.
Absolutely.
This is the best way to eat to naturally control
Yes.
blood sugar without
Yes.
the need for medication.
Absolutely. And I am a walking, talking testament of that because I was able to get off medication. We have clients that have been able to get off their medications, both for the issues with thyroid and diabetes. We've seen incredible transformation.
Absolutely.
We have one lady, and I will just talk about Relaine really quick. Relaine Johnson, she's one of our patients. She doesn't even live in our same state. She lives across the country. She has lost over 114 pounds with us. She's done it in a year, and she's totally off her medications. Her doctor is just baffled because he's been treating her for the last 20 years and hasn't had any results that we've had without medication, totally using food. Food can kill you or it can heal you.
Absolutely.
And this is how you eat to heal your body. Okay, so we talked about breakfast. We suggested the eggs, going with the vegetables, the healthy proteins.
Oh, and protein. I want to just throw it in there because they're one of my favorites.
Yes.
But the protein pancakes and protein waffles.
Yes.
If you really are craving those pancakes and those protein waffles, you can make
It's super
healthy
simple, you guys.
variations.
You make variations of the base is usually egg, and then you combine it with the you got to have a substitute. You can do almond flour, you can do the flaxseed chia blend. There's so many different coconut flour.
Coconut flour is great.
There's a lot of variations, and on our social media, Fit Body Weight Loss on Instagram and Fit Body Weight Loss on Facebook, we have tons of variations of this recipe, from waffle style, crepe style, pancake style, you name it. We have a ton of variations. We even have some that are green. We call them the green monsters, and they actually use spirulina, which is green algae. And believe it or not, it's pretty good. The kids were a little iffy with the color, but I thought they were fine.
Just try them on St. Patrick's Day.
There you
time.
go. Just sneak them in
March
for your
is
kids.
coming up.
There you go. So, okay. So now even another option is if, let's say you cannot use egg at all. You know, you could go old school and you could do fish in the morning.
Yeah,
You could
absolutely.
do a turkey sausage, chicken sausage, exactly, and just do it like a scramble.
If you are going to choose a chicken sausage, a turkey sausage, something of that nature, just make sure that it's nitrate free,
Yes.
it's low sodium. You don't want to overdo the sodium, that can cause you to inflame.
Swell, yeah.
But there are some great all natural brands of turkey bacon, turkey sausage, chicken sausage, etc. out
Just
there.
go to the local health food store or farmer's market near you. We live in Arizona and we're very fortunate to have a lot of options here. I'm not sure where exactly you live, but You can Google it, you can look it up. I think you can even order it online.
Right. Or you can always make your own. You can go buy some ground
Yes.
chicken and you can add sage. You can add a little bit of rosemary. You can
Yes.
add those cumin and those yummy seasonings to your own chicken and make your own sausage.
Which that's a good topic, is a lot of people ask us, well, is my food going to be bland?
Right.
No, it doesn't have to. In fact, do you want to talk about some of the seasonings?
Yeah, so these are some of my personal favorite seasonings are, number one, of course, ground black pepper, because it's fabulous.
It's great.
It
It
makes
also
everything
will
taste
boost
good.
your metabolism.
It does.
So it's great.
Actually, any spice, cayenne pepper,
Yeah.
anything with capsaicin in it,
Yep.
so your hot chili peppers,
Yep.
they're all great metabolism boosters.
Yep.
So definitely load up on those if you like spice. Then if you do want a little bit of salt on your food, that's fine, but make sure you choose a healthy alternative. And for us, we really like the pink Himalayan sea
Yes.
salts. It contains lots of great trace minerals
Yep.
that your body can use and absorb.
And it won't make you swell the way a traditional table salt would.
Right.
One of my favorite seasonings that goes on everything I can, from even in my coffee to hot teas to when I make these protein pancakes, and that is cinnamon. You just want to make sure you go organic whenever possible, but cinnamon will actually help stabilize your blood sugar and the way, so if you were to have a little treat, and let's say you're diabetic, oftentimes your blood sugar will go through the roof, but with a little bit of cinnamon, it actually helps stabilize your blood sugar better. So that's one tip from me, a former type 2 diabetic, now totally reversed. Cinnamon is your best friend. Learn to love cinnamon.
And it tastes great.
Yes.
I mean, it's fabulous. So
Yes. So yes, you and then the other spices, Mendy recommended even fresh mint.
Mint is fabulous.
Yes, you can use all of that in your cooking.
Yep.
Fresh basil, any type of,
Thyme, sage,
Anything.
oregano.
all of it's a
everything.
yes.
Yeah.
All of it's a yes. That's
Yes.
totally fine. So we just talked about breakfast. We know that our combination for breakfast is a healthy protein, a healthy carbohydrate, or even a couple. You can, when you're having vegetables, you can mix and match and make a whole scramble if you like. And then you need a healthy fat. So whether that's you're cooking with the fats or you're using some avocado, whatever you like, you can do that. You just have to make sure you get that trio in. It's the power of the three,
It is.
right?
Yes.
So you had breakfast, right? So
Right.
now it's time for your next snack, which we recommend eating every 2 to 3 hours. Max 4 hours. Once you hit 4 hours, studies show that you're considered clinically insane with your next food choice. Do you want to explain what that means?
What that means is that you have gone long enough without eating that the glucose levels in your blood are beginning to drop. Glucose in your blood, I tell people, is kind of like gasoline. So your cells go and they grab glucose molecules from your blood and they use it basically like gasoline. Well, if you let your glucose get low, then your cells feel like they're running out of gas. And so your brain will actually begin to scream at you for food, and not just any food. It will scream at you for bad food.
Right, high carbohydrate,
Yep.
high sugar, high salt foods.
Right.
So that's why when you haven't eaten all day, you can't help but eat the French fries. So now you know why.
Yes.
So with our snack, again, the same principles apply for everything. High protein, good complex carb, healthy fat. You want to show them a healthy snack?
So for me, one of my absolute favorite snacks in mid-morning is to take an apple and I slice it up, and I will usually pair it with a little bit of a healthy butter. So this is almond butter. It's an organic, all-natural almond butter. It's high in protein, high in healthy fats. And this is the same, but a type of healthy peanut butter.
Now, usually we do recommend you go almond butter over peanut butter,
Right.
because peanut butter tends to be high in sugar. But since we're recording today on National Peanut Butter Day, I thought I would show you this little find I found. It is an all-natural, totally organic protein peanut butter.
Right.
So there's 0 sugar in this thing. There's 12 grams of protein, and some peanut butters have up to 12, 13 carbs.
Right.
This only has 7, and it's chocolate flavored. I really liked it.
And what
I
a
know.
treat.
It is such a treat. And again, you just have to operate self-control when it comes to the butters.
Yeah.
To the
1 or
nut
2
butters.
tablespoons is usually
Yes.
fine. And just, spread it on your apple slices. You can even put a little bit of cinnamon on, and then it's really fabulous.
Another example is you could even do like a hard-boiled egg.
Absolutely.
You could do a hard-boiled egg with maybe some almonds and some berries.
Absolutely.
There's so many combinations that you can have. You can throw an orange in your bag. You could have your orange. There's a lot of combos. Now, a lot of people want to know with the snacks, can I have a protein shake?
Right.
I'm going to turn that over to you, Mindy.
Protein shake. So yes, you can, on occasion, have a protein shake instead of your snack. Christina and I both really prefer real food
Yes.
over protein shakes.
I would rather you have the hard-boiled egg over the shake. However, we are realistic and we get that
Right.
people get busy and there's going to be times where you just can't do that.
Yeah.
So we're okay with a protein shake.
Yeah, if you're in
But-
the office, in the car driving, etc.,
Yeah.
then it's perfectly acceptable.
But you have to choose a right protein shake.
That's right.
That's super important because people will say, oh, I've got a protein shake, and then they'll show it to us and we read the label and it's like, oh, you might as well have a Snickers bar, friend.
Right,
So
exactly.
especially protein bars, they're just the same as candy.
Right.
So with protein shakes, you want to read off the label on that, like
Yeah.
the carbs versus sugars.
So this particular protein shake has 30 grams of protein, which
That's
is
really high.
amazing. And it only has 4 grams of carbohydrates, 1 gram of sugar. And that's exactly what we're looking for.
Right.
Low carb, high protein.
Exactly. There are some, and I didn't pull it out, I should have, but there are other proteins too that are vegan based
Right.
that I like as well. They don't taste as tasty, but it's not about taste at that moment, right? It's about your nutrition.
Right.
So with protein, we're not brand snobs when it comes to protein.
No.
So what you're gonna need to do is we suggest, because there's different protein options in different parts of the country, go down to your health food store, grab a couple of different proteins, and you gotta look for one that's, the qualifications are low in sugar.
Right.
Most protein brands will sneak in a bunch of sugar to make it taste really good.
Right.
Make sure that it's high in protein. This has 30 grams of protein in this little
That's
guy
a
right
lot.
here. That's a lot packed into that.
It is.
And do your best to find one that's all natural, and of course, lastly, that you like it.
Right. And the only other thing I would add to that is that try, if you can, to stay away from soy-based protein
Yes.
shakes. Soy contains a lot of phytoestrogens. There's a lot of information
Which
out
is
there
a
of whether
big
it's
leader to
good or
cancer.
bad. Yeah. So stay away from soy. Choose a plant-based protein other
Yes.
than soy, or choose a whey protein, or even a bone broth protein, which
Yes.
they do have as well.
Yes, or just have another bone broth shake like you talked about.
Bone broth.
So that's your snack. Now let's move on to lunch.
Okay.
Okay, so typically everybody says I got a sandwich, right?
Right.
We're gonna show you how to make the unsandwich,
Oh, I love
the healthier version, the lettuce
Yes.
wrap sandwich. So the basis of everything is going to be the lettuce wraps.
Mhm.
We use lettuce wraps for everything.
Right.
This could even, become your salad, right?
Yeah.
But we're gonna show you what we like to do. Go ahead and grab the
Tuna?
protein, an example. So
And
you could do.
Or tuna.
Mm-hmm.
So I would take a little bit of tuna. I would probably chop up a little bit of onion, a little bit of celery.
Even a hard-boiled egg in it.
Would definitely put like a teaspoon of a good organic mustard in
Yes.
mine. Some pepper, maybe a little.
You can even
sprinkling
use
of-
avocado.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yes.
A lot of our
actually,
patients will do that.
Mashing avocado with your tuna is a great
Delicious.
alternative to mayo.
And like we said, there's also a brand out there called Vegenaise
Yes.
that I have some in my fridge right
It's
now.
good.
And I really do like it. And you could use that. It tastes really good. I put it on my kids' stuff, my husband's stuff. Nobody notices. They don't know.
Yeah, and don't forget to add in your fresh herbs if you want.
Yes.
You can add some fresh herbs in.
So lunch, the example would be your protein based. Go with, like, for example, a tuna. You don't
Tuna.
like fish. You can do a turkey or a chicken breast.
Right,
That's fine
absolutely.
too. That's totally fine.
Mhm.
One option is even going and buying a rotisserie chicken from like an organic health food store that is nitrate free. You know that it doesn't have the hormones, and then just use that on top of your salad, or make the chicken lettuce wraps, or the
Yeah.
whatever.
Or even shrimp. Shrimp is a
Shrimp
great.
is awesome.
I love shrimp
Yes.
tacos. So
Yes,
for me,
that's
I
good.
love to make a little aioli with a Veganese mayo and the lettuce, and it's just perfect. A little bit of lemon.
And so what you're looking at is you got to have your protein again, right? So we're showing you the example, protein,
Yeah.
complex carbohydrate, which you can also need to probably throw in maybe some fruit, maybe have some mixed berries,
Yep.
have
Absolutely.
some strawberries and blueberries, or you could have an orange, there's so many options. And then don't forget, you still need to have a little bit of your healthy fat as well. So you could use half of this in your breakfast and half of this in your lunch if you like.
Yeah, or if you're having a salad, you can add a little avocado oil
Yep.
with a little bit of vinegar. This is an apple cider vinegar.
Mhm.
It's all organic. It has the mother in it, so it's really great
It's a
for you.
probiotic,
Mhm.
yes.
And you can make like a light salad dressing to kind of drizzle on your salad.
That's a great
as well.
idea. And then you can even add a couple of almond slices.
Absolutely.
Or walnuts to your salad. Listen, you're not going to be starving. I promise. You're probably going to be really full. You're going to be like, are you sure I can eat all of this?
Right.
The answer is yes, you can. So it's snack time again.
Yay!
Yay!
Because we're eating again.
Because we're eating again. Now, just like we talked about last time, you're going for something with protein, complex carb, healthy fat.
Right.
Now, understand, you don't have to eat massive meals. In fact, if you're eating this way, you shouldn't be eating massive meals. Everything should be pretty,
Right.
I don't want to say petite, but it's not huge. It's proportioned.
Right.
And so if you find that you're just stuffed, don't force yourself, because that's also unhealthy. But if you are hungry, it's okay to have a healthy snack. It's okay. So an example again, we could do the hard-boiled egg. You could do a hard-boiled egg. Some of our clients like to do the sliced cucumber,
Right.
with a little bit of hummus. That's great.
We don't have it out here, but broccoli,
I ate it.
cucumbers,
Yes.
veggies, celery with hummus is
Yes.
a great snack.
That is great.
Mhm.
And now it is time for dinner.
Dinner.
Yay! So what are we having for dinner? Well, right here, the base of dinner, I actually have the example. This is a fresh wild-caught yellowtail fish.
Oh,
We would grill it or we would bake it, and I marinate it in some olive oil. I use the cracked pepper, the sea salt. It's delicious. And I would combine this with like broccoli and a salad, or I would do my favorite. You want to talk about this?
Yes, this is our favorite cauliflower rice.
Yes.
So when you're craving those carbs and you really want something that feels
Right.
like
A
rice.
cup of rice can be 40 carbohydrates. This has 4.
Yeah.
This has 4 carbs, and it's
Great
high in protein.
alternative.
How much protein? There's
Um,
2 grams per serving, right?
Yeah, I'm
I think so. Well, cauliflower is actually a pretty high in protein
It is.
vegetable. So you want to go with, again, you don't have to miss food. You want some sort of rice. We make this into like a Mexican rice, a stir-fry rice.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I use it for stir fry rice a lot.
Yeah, all the
Or
time.
stuffed peppers. If I'm doing stuffed
Yes,
peppers, I'll use
it's
this
awesome.
instead of
So we're
rice
gonna.
and
So
stuffed
this is an
peppers.
example of dinner. So you've got your fish, or let's say you hate fish, chicken. Go grill some chicken.
Absolutely.
Then.
I think you have some right here.
Yes, here's some chicken. So again, I found this. This is a free-range chicken. So you want to get a healthier chicken. So your example, you got your fish or your chicken.
Yep.
Then combine that with your good complex carbs.
Absolutely.
This is dinner right here: cauliflower, broccoli, chicken, fish, cauliflower, broccoli. And a salad. You could even have
And
a
you can
salad
do
in all of
Brussels
this.
sprouts. You can do green
I love
beans. You can
Brussels
do
sprouts.
so many things with your vegetable choices, and you can
Yes.
combine vegetables. So you can do
Yes.
a medley. One of my favorite ways to fix veggies is to cut them up into cubes, to put them on a baking sheet, drizzle just a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper on them, and then I throw them in the broiler for about 20
Yum.
minutes, and it really gives them that roasted
I do
flavor.
that all the time.
So easy, so delicious.
Something I want to talk about is the purple Viking potatoes. Now, traditionally, you don't want to do traditional potatoes because they're high in starches, they'll spike your sugar. But purple potatoes are a lot like sweet potatoes, which you can enjoy a small amount a couple times a week and be just fine.
And they're high in fiber.
Yes, and nutrients.
Yes.
So you're good. Ooh, dropping stuff. And then your garlic. Try and throw garlic in everything. This is actually known as Russian antibiotics, and it will actually fight back a cold.
It will.
It's amazing. So,
fabulous.
and it's great for flavoring.
So good. Yep. The only thing that I want to add is also, but with your fruits, because we do have a lot of fruit out here, make sure you do keep your fruit in the earlier part of the day.
Right.
You don't want to have fruit after, I would say, 2 p.m.?
Yes.
Because you really want your body to be able to use up that higher carbohydrate content.
Right. So one question we get asked all the time is, well, what can I drink if I am skipping the sugar? Can I still have coffee? Can I still enjoy my beverages? And the answer is absolutely yes. So you want to talk to them about coffee.
So Christina and I love, love, love our cold brew coffees.
We
They're
do.
sugar-free. They're already made.
Yep.
You can get them organic, which is always best.
Right, this right here is called Stoke. It's cold brew coffee. Believe it or not, I found it at Target. So you can
Right.
find them pretty much everywhere now. But the key with choosing your coffee is making sure you go back and you look at the label, make sure there's no hidden sugars.
Right.
You don't want all that hidden sugar. And cold brew itself is actually less acidic than traditional coffee. So it actually, and it's cold brewed, so it contains a lot of the antioxidants that are normally cooked out.
Right. And if you do want to sweeten your coffee, or if you're a creamer girl or guy, we have alternatives for that as well. We love our stevia drops. And the great thing about these drops is, number one, stevia is natural. We don't really want you using Splenda, sucralose, those fake, artificial,
Right.
chemical-laden alternatives. These are all natural. They're not going to spike your blood sugar, and you can get them in flavors.
Yes, like I love the English toffee, but they have pumpkin spice, which is
Right.
awesome. They have orange cream. They even have root beer flavor.
Everything.
They have Java, caramel, so many different flavors. And then
They
I
do.
also got vanilla cream, and
Right.
I really
I
like
love the
these.
vanilla.
So I will actually use these, a little bit of each in my coffee. And then let's talk about the cream.
Yes. So there are lots of great alternatives, because dairy is allowed, in moderation, very small amounts on your nutrition plan, but
Yes.
ideally you really want to keep it limited. It can be really inflammatory.
It can. And, just in general, the way America and even other countries
Yeah.
produce milk is pretty scary. There's
It
a
is.
lot of hormones in it. There's a lot of chemicals. There's always a lot of sugar in it. So you want to be really careful on having too much milk. If I personally have milk, I will break out.
Me too. I complain
and my
so
stomach
badly.
hurts and I get massive digestive issues. It's just not pretty. So I have found, and I really like this. This is called Ripple. It's dairy free. It's totally plant based, and it's organic. It's vegan, and I really like this creamer. But you got to find a creamer that you like.
And you can
Everybody's preferences are different.
Right. You can use almond milk. You can use coconut milk.
Yep.
There are lots of different variations out there.
Tons of options.
Yeah, it's great.
We just suggest you find a dairy free and one that's not packed full of chemicals.
Absolutely. That's the most important part.
Mhm.
And if I personally through the day do crave a little bit of cheese, I opt for an all natural goat's cheese,
Yes.
which is much easier on our immune system and our
Yes.
digestive system.
And when in doubt, go organic, go
Always.
free range, go grass fed. When in doubt, we didn't talk about this, and I know people are going to ask red meat.
Yes.
You
So
want to go on that?
I love red meat.
I do too.
It tastes great.
Doesn't always love me, but
It can be harder for the digestive system to break down. But what's really important whenever you are eating red meat is that it really needs to be grass fed.
grass
The
fed.
fat makeup in grass-fed beef is completely different than the fat makeup in grain-fed beef.
It's totally different. Grain fed beef fat will clog your body. They will actually clog your arteries. Grass fed will not.
Right.
So, and it does taste different. It does grill different. My best suggestion is find one that's in your area.
Mhm.
I know that we have one here that we support. It's called Arizona Grass Raised Beef Co. We really liked them. Their meat was very good. Their bone broth was good. But again, you got to find one that you like.
Right. Absolutely.
Even grocery stores, every single one carries a grass-fed version now.
And speaking of the grocery store, you can actually tell if you go into the grocery store the difference between the grain-fed and the grass-fed meat. If you put them side by side, the grass-fed meat, the fat color will be much more yellow than the grain-fed. And the reason why is because it has all the vitamin K from the phytonutrients from the grass. Because your meat
Isn't that
is
crazy?
only as good as whatever that animal
Cow
was
ate.
eating.
Yes.
Yeah.
And another question is people they're gonna want to ask about pork. They always want to know about pork.
Okay.
We have a love-hate relationship with pork
Right.
because pork tends to be very salty,
Yep.
very sugary,
Full of nitrates.
and full of nitrates and full
Mhm.
of chemicals and toxins because pigs eat what pigs eat.
Yeah.
So you, just like what Mindy said, you are what you eat, but you also eat what they eat. So if you're eating pig that has eaten a bunch of garbage and molding, disgusting food, you are too.
I worked, little known secret, I worked at a candy factory, Brock's, when I was fresh out of high school. And we would have all this bad candy come out. We literally would put it into these huge bins, and guess where it went?
Oh no.
The
Don't tell
hog
me.
farm.
The hog farm.
They feed hogs
them sugar.
straight sugar to up the sweetness of the pork.
Right, and then they're also injecting them with growth hormones. The cows
Yeah.
too, you guys.
Yeah.
So you are what you're eating and what they're eating too.
Be selective.
Be selective. Go grass-fed. Go free range whenever possible. Like you'll notice even these eggs. People will ask us, what do we support on eggs? These are cage-free, farm-fresh, farm-raised eggs. They were not caged. They're hormone-free,
Yep.
antibiotic-free, because you are what they're eating.
Yep.
You're going to get whatever they got.
And if you can find a local farmer's market
Yes.
or someone who sells local
Yes.
fresh eggs
That's even
or
more
meat,
amazing.
that's even better.
That is amazing. I've tried to convince my husband into having
Raising
chickens, but it's a no-go. It's a no-go. I think our dog would eat them. But
Let's talk about like our water intake and how we can add things to our water to actually make it
Yes.
even more
because
healthy
this
for us.
can look pretty daunting,
It does.
especially whenever we tell you that we want you to try and aim for a gallon a day.
Right.
That's a lot, but we promise when you divide up all the water into the teas that you're having, into the
Mhm.
even the coffee is liquid. In the infused waters, it's not that hard, I promise.
No, it's
So
actually
you want to
great.
give them some ideas of what they can do to liven up their water?
Sure. So in the morning, I really like to start with a water that is infused with lemon,
Yes.
lime, and occasionally I might do some Bragg's apple cider vinegar.
Yes. Oh, I moved it.
Up right
It's
here.
over here.
Or just any organic apple cider vinegar that has the mother in it.
Yes.
What you want? Do you want to tell them why they want the mother?
I'll let you go.
Oh, okay.
I'll be your
So
holder.
the mother is essentially the flora that is in the apple cider vinegar. It's what causes it to ferment.
Yes.
But it contains all of your probiotics, which
Yes.
are so good for
you
your
need
gut
this, you
health.
guys, because
It
there's
will-
so many things in our life, even stress,
Mhm.
that will strip us of our good probiotics.
Absolutely. And if you don't have enough probiotics, you'll get yeast buildup. Your
Mhm.
stomach lining can be inflamed,
Mhm.
and that leads to ultimately autoimmune.
Exactly. And basically, to boil it all down, you won't get any of the good nutrition from eating this way if your probiotics are
Absolutely.
off, because the bad enzymes, the bad items will actually eat all your good enzymes.
Mhm.
So you need this in your diet. So
Yeah. And it's
okay.
very detoxifying too.
Yes.
Which is
Okay,
great.
so another example is you could throw berries in your
Yes.
water. I will do orange slices, cucumbers,
Strawberries.
literally anything. You can throw this in your water to
Mint.
keep mint is wonderful.
fabulous. Absolutely.
Even apple slices, which
Mhm.
actually are a natural appetite suppressant, you guys. Apple
Yep.
is actually that. The key is you have to let it soak into the water for at least an hour. So what I suggest doing is maybe making it the night before,
Mhm.
before bed, and then you can drink it all day long.
Yeah, I make up I have one of those pitchers that has the spout.
Yes, the
And-
Britas and all that too.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll just make up a big pitcher the night before, and the next day I have it just ready to go all day whenever I feel like it.
Now people are going to ask you, because they ask us all the time,
Mhm.
what water do we recommend? We're not super picky, but again, go filtered as possible.
Absolutely.
You know, it's all about reducing as much toxins and exposure to chemicals and unnatural things as possible.
And one question I get asked all the time is carbonated water okay? And personally, I drink Perrier Pellegrino, the sparkling mineral
Mhm.
waters, as long as they're a true sparkling mineral water.
Right.
There's no added chemicals, no Splenda,
Right.
no sucralose, no flavorings, other than, if it's a natural flavoring in that water,
Yep.
then I'm perfectly okay with that. In
Yeah.
fact, it's kind of a great way if you're really addicted to soda.
Yeah, and you can
to
throw
wean
some
yourself
lime in
off.
there. And guess
Mhm.
what, you guys? You can even throw in some stevia
Stevia.
drops, and you basically make yourself a little homemade natural sparkling lemonade or
Right.
limeade.
Absolutely.
It's delicious. I make a homemade limeade everywhere I go. And I'm that weird person that when I go out to eat, I ask for a glass of water with a bowl of lemons, and I will squeeze all those lemons in, and then I'll add in a little bit of my own Splenda, and you make your own lemonade,
Mhm.
because I don't want to be tempted by what they have.
Right.
Also, green tea, your best friend, you guys.
Yes.
Any infused teas like that, infused waters, you can do raspberry teas, blueberry teas, green teas,
Herbal
chai,
teas.
herbal
You
teas.
can do smooth moon
Anything.
teas. You can do sleepy time teas.
Yep.
There are so many great herbal
Yes.
teas out
My
there.
my husband drinks like 3 green teas a day.
And green tea in particular is great because it contains what's called ECGC,
Yep.
which actually helps rev up your metabolism
Yes.
without being a harsh stimulant or anything
Right.
that will make you feel jittery.
And most of us know that green tea is great for fighting back free radicals.
Absolutely.
So it's just overall, these are all good choices. You do not have to be bored. You do not have to hate your eating. You should love what you're eating,
Yep.
and you can have a lot of it. The options are endless.
They are.
And honestly, and then our last meal I want to talk about is the 6th meal after dinner. And the last thing I want to say is that it's optional.
Mhm.
If you want something, go light, but try to stay low sugar.
Yep.
Even a protein shake is a good option, or
It
have
is.
a cup of tea.
Or
See how you
a
feel.
very low sugar, low carbohydrate protein bar if you're feeling snacky.
Yes.
A lot of people ask, what can I eat if I'm going to the movies or if I'm watching a movie with my husband, my friends, my family, my kids at night? And I always say personally, I love pistachios in the shell because you eat them slowly because you have to crack them, but they kind of have that nice hand to mouth movement. So a small handful of pistachios is a great movie nighttime
I always bring
snack.
an apple with me when we go to the movies and a big bottle of water too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as you can see, the options are endless. If you have any questions on what we put together for you today, please email us at fitbodyweightloss@gmail.com. Mindy and I would love to answer your questions, but this is what you can eat.
Yeah.
This is great, and this is a great style to carry on, not just for now, but for the rest of your life, and share it with your family and friends. So thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed it, and have an awesome day, everyone.